Hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map, and today I would like to show you these three beautiful oracle decks created by Rebecca Lefebvre, and that's her surname, and illustrated by Phoebe Hunt. And you can find them at Rebecca's website, Avec La Vie. Cards were printed in America, box printed in China. It's aveclavie.com. And Rebecca, the creator of these cards, she has been working for a long time with patients. I think she was a nurse and she was a social worker. Maybe she still is. And you can check all this information also on her website. But what I found interesting, and that's why I wanted to, review these decks, is that she has used her experience with terminally ill patients, with patients who healed, with a different type of people who were going through hard experiences, hardship in life. And she's collected over the years certain inspirations from those people, and this is what she put into the decks. So she has created three decks. The first one is the Fauna Inspiration, the second one is Flora Healing, and then Fantastic Being. There's 57 cards in each of them, and the first deck is about contemplation. It's illumination cards, as it says on the box. The second one is about healing, and it's restorative cards, and the Fantastic Being cards are about transformation and manifestation cards. So I'm just going to go through each of the cards, so I'm going to just do it quickly. By the way, the large size, which is what I'm showing you now, it is a, let me just pick a regular tarot deck. What's nearby? Way Home Tarot. So it's just a little bit shorter than the regular tarot deck, right? So they are also printed on this beautiful, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, I hope, this beautiful kind of textured art paper. I think it feels like, the watercolor paper. It gets a little bit of bend, and it also has this cool texture. The backs of the cards is the writing, so some people don't like it, some people like it. I actually like it when I don't have to go to the extra effort to pull the book, even though I like Companion's book too. But what I mean is I totally don't mind that. I think it's pretty cool. One of my favorite oracles, Red Seeds Oracle, has that too. Also the Wistar Oracle and the Forest of Precious Twigs Oracle also has that, so I totally don't mind. So there's two sizes to this deck, and the large size, which is like closer to the tarot size, comes in this hard two-piece box. And there is also the small decks, the mini decks, that are really cute, and they come, I think they just come shrink wrapped basically, so you will have to get your own box for that. And this is the difference between the sizes of the mini cards and the big cards, the big size and the mini size. The mini size, it's really kind of cute and sweet. Also the mini size, as you can see, has not rounded edges, and it has tiny little frames around them, whereas the large size is borderless and has rounded corners. Okay, so I put the mini size on the side for a while, and I put the box away, and I take it down a notch, and let's go through the cards, just so you can see what animals she included into the deck. So as I said, this is a contemplation deck and illumination cards. So this speaks about conscious awareness about things in your life, about your values, about your life plans. It also, as she writes on her website, includes reconciling your patterns, beliefs, and present activities. And using animals as your guides, this deck gently introducing concepts about humanness, for contemplation and for illumination. So I'm going to pull at the end one card as our collective reading. So as you can see, the artwork is really beautiful by Phoebe Hunt. Really, really amazing. And I love that it's not so obvious sometimes, you know, that so this is a stingray. You sometimes look at it like, what is it? But also that the perspective, how the animals are shown, it's really kind of beautiful. And the watercolor, yeah, I love this kind of uncontrolled feel to watercolor art, right? And 57 cards, that's a lovely amount of cards. You know me, I really dislike to shuffle decks which have like really tiny amount of cards. It's just uncomfortable. And yeah, if you use a lot of oracle decks, you just want more cards, because it just doesn't get, you know, it takes a longer time to get to know the deck, right? But yeah, take a look at this gorgeous art and how the animals are positioned, and this beautiful watercolor background. I really, really like it. It's very gentle, very soulful. It feels kind of, you know, healing in some way. Even though I think, you know, any deck can probably be used for healing, but those nature-based decks are specifically beautifully fitted for this purpose. And I'm going to show you how that shuffles. There's even a little peek. So let's see on the swan. So I'm just going to leave the card. It shuffles really awesome. So if you like ripple shuffling, it gets the, you know, it doesn't bend, and it gets the nice, nice bridge. And let's pick. So now I'm going to take it a little bit. So let's pick one card for us. And bear, nurturing. All right, so this is the card. As you can see, beautiful bear looking kind of towards the future. So it's about nurturing. You get the element as well, and it says, in times of struggle, bear offers a strong source of support, nurturing our heart. She provides earnest wisdom. It would be easy to succumb to self-criticism, but she reminds us to be gentle to ourselves. Gracious reflection offers courage and strength to tame the negative voices and nurture our spirit. When Bear appears in our lives, she teaches us to look inward, face our fears, and embrace our truth. Her presence encourages us to accept our fragility as a means to overcome adversity. So as you can see, the messages are encouraging. They kind of trying to get you to like accept things and do things, you know, in your way, in your own time and in your own cycles. So this was the Fauna deck with the animals, 57 animals. The other one is the healing deck, which is the Flora healing, right? The restorative cards with the plants. And here, as much as the Fauna and the small and the large was kind of the same, you know, there was also the background, everything was the same, except, as I said, there was a corner things, and also the small cards, you don't get the elemental association. The Fauna is a little bit different from the mini deck, but the difference only is in the background. So the bigger size has those stained, kind of like tea stained, can you see it in the bottom and on top, like different tea stains, and the small version doesn't really get that. It's more plain. But other than that, it's the same. So let's look through the healing deck, through the plants. And here we have the healing speaks that healing requires willingness to reflect on the narratives you have accumulated over the years and looking closely at the things that inhibit your growth. So with the Flora healing, you have questions usually at the end of the text, and we're going to pull one as well. And you have also the Latin name, the English name, and the keyword, and the elemental association, and the question in the end as well. So let's just go quickly through all the 57 cards as well, so that you can see how the artwork looks and what plant Rebecca included into the deck. It's a variety between like plants, herbs, flowers, different wild and more kind of, kind of human loved plants. As you can see, the wild plants as well, the poisonous and the more kind of healing plants. And again, the artwork really beautiful, really peaceful, feels a little bit kind of vintagey with those tea stains, and feels, very spacious. It's very simple. You don't really get too much to play with intuition-wise, only the color and, the look. Nettle is cool. That's mint, actually, oops. And the look of the plant. You don't get any other symbols also, just simply the plant. Wisteria is beautiful. So let's pick one of the cards for our collective reading, and I'm going to leave them aside so we can have, at the end, I can show you the 3 cards, because I think it would be also nice if we can use these decks together. Okay, so we have the bear medicine, nurture, and now from the healing we have poppy. Oh, and also nourishment. So here we kind of get, a similar theme. So poppy, nourishment, the scientific name of poppy, papaver somniferum, was derived from the word papa, which means milk, and resembles the white nectar that drips from a poppy's stem. This milk harbors and carries the poppy's nutrients. Like this flora, one can never get enough nourishment. When we were infants, we needed 3 things: food, milk, and comfort. These essentials become diversified and complicated as we age. However, when trying to grow, don't be afraid to sprinkle, pour, and bathe in anything that positively nurtures your heart, mind, and soul. If anything is a distraction, avoid it. Consider your needs now. Are they depleted? What will offer nourishment for growth? So in the plant deck, you get these beautiful questions at the end of each of the cards. So I'm going to leave the poppy over there. And the last deck is the Fantastic Being, which is a very cute deck too. So it's a deck about transformation and manifestation. And it says here that after illumination and restoration of the 2 previous decks, you get to this Fantastic Beings deck, and that deck offers encouragement crafted to help you manifest the dormant life goals. And that transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it can be easier than you think when you believe in yourself and trust your instincts and commit to your growth. So as you can see with this particular deck, and by the way, both of these decks, the larger and the smaller and each one of them on the same paper. So if you were wondering, both versions are the same. So as you can see, the fantastic being has all sorts of different images and different, sometimes you're not sure what that is, right? You look at it and you go, what is it, right? What is it? And this was lava star, for example. Or here you have just a little bit of some animal, right? So this Loch Ness monster. So it has really fantastic beings, but also some parts of animals and some parts of plant life, like imaginary beings, like, jackalope, and so on and so forth. So it's a combination of all these different things. And again, the colors of all of these decks are really wonderful. And I love the perspective. When you have a fairy, you don't really see her face, but you just see those cute little legs. Or so it's not so obvious always, but I think that's why maybe I like it. It's like, I like how, everything is just like cut and shown from this unexpected perspective. So again, 57 cards, some, as you can see, more elaborate, some more simple. And we're going to pick one at the end as well. And see at the end our whole reading. And I think these decks, like any oracle deck, can be used very beautifully to add to any tarot reading that you do. Or, like if you haven't yet, you can check my creative tarot class that I sell on my website. It's like $25, so won't break your bank account. And I share a lot of different ways of how you can connect different decks and give different examples of how you can inspire yourself by using different decks in one reading. So from the fantastic being, I picked for us Baobab. So this is how the card looks. And it's about perspective. So it says, naked and caught without its leaves, the baobab tree looks like it was planted out upside down as it reaches for the sky. Combined with its silky smooth bark and unusual shape, it proclaims a comfort and admiration of all things different. When aligned with baobab's message, we question assumptions, seek answers, and ask, what information have I taken for granted? Who have I entrusted my learning to? When did I stop asking why? What defines my truth? Start asking questions. You will be gifted new insight for your personal growth. So we have the element of air. In the healing, we had the element of earth and earth. So 2 earth, 1 air. And with Poppy, we had nourishment. With Bear, we have nurturing. And this would be how the big cards look. And if we picked, some of the small sizes here, I'm just going to pick any from the fantastic being. Also has the mini version. I really love both, to be honest. I actually love the mini versions because, I have many decks, so anything mini would do by now. And we can put it up a little bit so you can guys see better. And a little piglet. So yes, if you totally, and these are not very big, so still very nice to use. But if you like mini, they really awesome too. You can corner, you can use the corner sharpener to round the corners, or you can get the big ones which have already rounded corners. And I think they beautiful, healing, very soft, as you can feel, I hope, decks And yeah, it looks like Rebecca put a lot of love into these. You can, you know, just sense it through using it. And I hope you enjoyed them. Let me know what you think. Apparently it's really worth to say for to encourage any of you to leave a comment, to, you know, click a like. If you like any of my content, please share it, because that apparently helps the algorithm. So there you go, I said it. Thanks so much for watching, and I speak to you soon. Bye.